It is vital that you get value out of each and every DPS ultimate. DPS ultimates are how you make plays, win team fights, and climb rank after rank. If you are consistently leaving DPS ultimate value on the table, you are only hurting yourself. So in this video, we'll be breaking down the top DPS ultimates that you constantly mess up and give you tips and tricks on how to pop off with them each and every time. All that being said, let's just jump right into it, shall we? A character that's on the up and up due to receiving some really powerful buffs, Soldier 76's ultimate Tactical Visor is an ultimate that I see way too many people not get hardly any value from, and even worse than that, sometimes they put themselves in situations where they get farmed instead. The first thing that you need to do on Tactical Visor is animation cancel your heal station with your Tactical Visor. This could be really simple by just throwing down your heal station, and the second you drop it, you instantly pop Tactical Visor. This can just allow you to use your Tactical Visor while in your heal station, giving you a little bit more sustain. The second thing that you need to really start doing with Tactical Visor is use it in response to specific character actions or enemy actions. There's a whole bunch of situations where you can pop Tactical Visor and secure essentially free kills. Let me give you these examples. When a pharah uses her shift, or when a Mercy uses Valk, in these scenarios, these characters think that the air is their ally. Mercies and pharahs will often think it's a safe haven to go up in the air and fly around really far away. That being said, responding to this with a Tactical Visor can be a really easy, simple way to confirm 1 or 2 kills, allow you to gain some kills risk-free, and deal with a potential threat. Another thing that you should do in general is don't be afraid to activate Tactical Visor just to secure a 1v1 against hard to hit squishies. Things like Tracers that are trying to kill your supports, or even Genjis that are using their Dragonblade, Tactical Visor can allow you to hit these hard to hit, really tiny characters and duel them 1v1. A big problem with Tactical Visor use is people will consistently try to get way too much value. They'll be way too greedy with the ultimate. Don't use Tactical Visor against shields or full DM. Don't use Tactical Visor to try to force through 6 kills. It is a low value ultimate and 1 kill is usually enough. As a final takeaway, the general rule of thumb for activating your Tactical Visor is that it's always better to activate it on the high ground. You get more vantage point of the fight, you can adjust your positioning to chase down targets, and you're much safer on the high ground against tons of cooldowns such as Earth Shatter or even things like McCree's Flashbang. Now moving on to the next ultimate on our list, a fan favorite, Dragonblade. Now everyone knows that a lot of Genji's power level is in his Dragonblade, so if you could not effectively get a lot of value out of each and every Dragonblade, it could be the thing holding you back. That being said, before we jump right into it, we're about to release tons of advanced Genji videos on the GameLeap website. The GameLeap website is 50% off and the link is down below. We're pushing out loads of content every single day to keep your skills engaged and your SR always increasing. Go ahead, click the link and access your true potential. So the first thing that you need to do in order to have more value with Genji's Dragonblade is learn the kill combos. Slash dash is the most important kill combo that you need to perfect, and it always works with things like Nano Blade, damage boost from a Mercy, or with Orisa's Supercharger. This allows you to one-shot 200 HP heroes with a simple slash dash, can allow you to follow up extremely fast, kill people instantly, and even kill through things like Zen's Transcendence if you do it fast enough. Here's the thing that you really need to be careful though when doing blades like this. While this is, yes, the most reliable way to get value out of your blades, there is something that you need to be extremely cautious of. You gotta be very careful if the enemy dies with 1 slash. I can't tell you how many times a target has been discorded or already weak. I slash dash and the first slash kills them, so I don't actually get kill credit with the dash. This means that I will not have a follow-up dash, and this can leave you completely stranded. This is the biggest mistake I see when people are trying to perfect Dragonblades. Sometimes it's better to go slower or survey information so that you make sure that you don't one-shot an enemy and make yourself stranded with your dash afterwards. The second thing you need to understand and utilize is all the tools that you have to confirm kills. Keep in mind that as long as you don't jump pre-blade, you'll have a jump while you're Dragonblading. This jump can be used to avoid things like McCree's Flashbang or on a sleep dart, make it a lot harder for enemies to line up a shot with you if you jump randomly mid-blade. Then you have your reflect, of course, as long as you save it so that you have it in your blade. You have an extra slash that you get when you start the Dragonblade. You can use this extra slash to cancel your reflect as you go into your combo, or if you already use your extra dash, you can always wall run cancel your reflect if you need to slash earlier mid Dragonblade. The next 2 tips are really important general rules to have more impactful Dragonblades over the course of a game. Do not go Dragonblade in alone. You need to wait for your team to somewhat push in. And I know what you're saying. Down in my rank, no one pushes in, no one's aggressive. At the very least, make it so that the enemy team is fighting your team. You need a distraction. You need a pressure. I don't care if your Reinhardt is inting in. That's good enough. It's better than nothing. What you do not want to do is be on the front line so that all 6 members of the enemy team can focus you with all their cooldowns. This is something that you really need to get down because Dragon Blade should be a supplement to go in with your team, not something that leads the charge, especially if you do not have something like a nano boost. So the last thing that you need to learn before we move on is that if you're Dragon Blading, do not always try to be the hero. At the end of the day, a Dragon Blade that gets 1 through 3 kills where you're still alive is usually good enough. You do not have to get these 6-man Dragon Blades all the time, and I've seen people try to go for these insanely high-speed Dragon Blades when they're not practiced and honed enough and just dash into oblivion, get no value, or they just waste their ult and die instantly. Do not try to replicate this in each and every one of your games. You can get consistent value, and that is how you climb. Now moving on to the third ult that DPS players mess up time and time again, it's Meteor Strike. So Meteor Strike is a very important ultimate to get right, and it's a really powerful aspect of Doomfist's kit, allows him to go all in and get tons of value. The first thing that you need to do is before you go into your ult, keep in mind that it can get you out of a sticky situation even when you have no cooldowns. So unlike every single other situation where you just go in, use some cooldowns to engage, some cooldowns to disengage, you can go all in. You could punch in, seismic slam, uppercut, use all your ammo, and then ult. You exhaust every single bit of your resources, and then you go into your ultimate, you get your cooldowns back, and then you follow up the combo only to go back in or retreat afterwards. Another really cool thing with Meteor Strike is, in my opinion, the one time that you could try crazy rollouts that use all your resources to try to get value is when you have your ultimate. A lot of times what happens with rollouts is they'll secure 1 kill by surprise, but they'll leave you without any cooldowns to retreat. That's what Meteor Strike really helps out with. You get to go all in, do a crazy rollout, go into the enemy, ult to get away or follow it up. This could be a way to keep the combo going. Now, another important thing that you should do is when you are in your ultimate, really try to survey the situation and take in as much information as you can. Did the enemy McCree try to flash you before you go to your ultimate, or does he have it? How much resources and what's the health of everyone on the table? You need to really quickly make the decision whether or not you're going to go into the enemy or if you're going to use it to retreat. Also, don't be afraid to just go back to your team if you're not going to get value. And then lastly, what you should keep in mind is that you can actually ult on top of really high surfaces, like at the top of Lijiang Tower. You can use this to surprise the enemy, even pressure enemy pharahs, or just go back to your team. It gives you a lot of versatility. What you do not want to do is notice that the enemy team is all at full health with all their cooldowns, and you decide to ult right into the enemy team when they're all full health, full resources. This is the exact same problem as the Genji situation where you're trying to DRAGONBLADE 1v6. Now moving on to the next character on our list, we have Tracer and her ultimate, Pulse Bomb. Now a big problem with people that play Tracer is they simply don't hit enough pulse bombs. Here's the thing, if you want to climb, there's going to be a certain point in time when you need to start hitting pulse bombs, because pulse bombs will literally be the difference between winning and losing. On top of that, if you can master pulse bomb use, you can win tons of games that you have no business winning through insane pick potential. Here's what you need to do. Aim for consistency. Pulse bomb is extremely important to aim, and I see way too many Tracers trying to throw it across the map or chuck it really far away. NYX player Sayobi always blinks to close in the gap before he pulse bombs, and he's one of the best Tracers in the world, so why aren't you? What you need to be doing is using resources to bridge the gap and stick easy to stick pulse bombs from very close range. If you master your blink distance, this will become really textbook and allow you to stick way more pulse bombs. On top of that, sometimes sticking the easy target like a Rhine, doing a simple blink 180 into the Rhine, pulse bombing him from behind is far easier than trying to hit someone like a Genji with a pulse bomb. Keep in mind though that it's not going to do enough damage to kill the Rhine outright, so unless he's weak or you plan on following up on the Rhine, it could be a wasted ultimate, so really keep that in mind. The next thing that you should do with pulse bomb is just simply combo with things like Graviton. Here's something that's really cool on Tracer because of how fast your ultimate builds up. You could enter the first fight, build up a pulse bomb and use it, and then build up the second pulse bomb for your Zarya's Graviton before she gets it. This is really important because essentially you're going to be lapping the Zarya with ultimate charge. This is something to really keep in mind of because you're going to get one potential fight to potentially win a team fight with a pulse bomb, but even if you miss, you should still have it for the next team fight as long as you don't get picked and die. Now for the last tip on Tracer, what you really need to do is you really need to be careful when you're blinking all around a target trying to pulse bomb them. I can't tell you how many times I've blinked all the way around a Zen only to pulse bomb him, recalling right into my pulse bomb. It happens, believe it. You need to either 1, wait to recall before the pulse bomb is actually going to explode, or 2, make sure that you save blinks to run away from the pulse bomb, or you keep track of where you'll end up recalling. Recall takes 1.25 seconds to actually rewind, and it rewinds 3 seconds back. Keep these numbers in mind and couple them with your in-game memory of how recall works, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. Now moving on to Hanzo, we have DRAGONSTRIKE. Now, Dragon Strike is an extremely underrated ultimate that often gets almost no value. People will just throw it out here and there. It's an incredibly fast building ultimate, and if you can bring value to the table every time you use it, you're gonna guaranteed win more team fights and gain more SR. Here's the 4 situations that you should be using Dragon Strike, and this is it. These are the 4 situations, period. Let me go over the first one. This is the most obvious one. Combo it with an ultimate. Earth Shatter, Graviton. Everyone knows that Dragon Strike is very consistent with these ultimates, and you should try to combo. Just like the Tracer example, you can sometimes lap a Zarya with your Dragon Strike. Now keep in mind, sometimes it's better to save. If that Zarya is already pushing 65, 70%, you might just want to save your Dragon Strike. But on the flip side, if the enemy has a support ultimate, sometimes it's not the best to invest both Dragon Strike and Graviton just to bait out one support ultimate. And if you could split them up, sometimes a really well-placed Dragon Strike can actually bait out that support ultimate, or you can use it after the grab got value. There's a lot of different ways to use it there. Now, let's talk about the second way that you should use your Dragon Strike, and that's to secure a single kill. And I mean one kill. If you Sonic an enemy, they're half, or they're hiding around the corner, or they're trying to retreat, or any of these situations where there's a single person that you can kill with a Dragon Strike, cap that kill. Take it in the bag. Dragon Strike is not so valuable that it's worth more than a kill. And if you can just right away turn a 6v6 into a 5v6, you give your team so much good momentum going into that fight. And if you manage to get another pick, it could just be a cascade effect. So really, don't be afraid to just secure a single kill with Dragon Strike. Now, the next thing that you can do with Dragon Strike is use it when the enemy is either retreating or pushing in. You can use it when they're retreating to make sure that you get all the staggers and get tons of ult charge for your team, and make sure that you confirm the kill, make it so the enemy can't retreat. Or you can use it when the enemy team's pushing, put tons of pressure on them, make them push right in or through your Dragon Strike, and you can either get kills, put a lot of pressure on them, create a lot of space. And then also, splitting is a big part of that. Being able to split the enemy team down the middle can allow you and your team to take an essential 6v3 fight when really the whole enemy team is there, but because of your dragon, it provides good visual clutter and it provides damage and pressure that kind of physically splits the enemy team up. Now we're going to talk about the last example that used Dragon Strike, and this is a really niche example, but it's an important one to understand, and that's when you create space. So here's when you want to create space. Let's say you're trying to recap a point, or you're trying to prevent the enemy from capping some type of payload checkpoint, and they're about to cap it and your main tank can't touch, or if your main tank does touch, he's getting a lot of pressure from multiple angles. What Dragon Strike can do is do the same thing that a main tank would. It can create that space that I talked about before. You can Dragon Strike the cart, make the enemies back up away from it, create that visual clutter. These are all things that allow you and your team to go and take space, take good positions, take the point. It does like a mock main tank impression. You know, a main tank running in, swinging his hammer, holding up his shield. That's kind of what the Dragon Strike emulates, and it's a really good way to retake a point when you have no other option, or you can use it to help your team retake a point. Very, very strong 4 ways to use Dragon Strike, and I guarantee it, if you use Dragon Strike for one of these 4, you will always get value out of your Dragon Strike. I know you guys got some extra time on your hands and hopefully plenty of toilet paper. Let's use this time to get you closer and closer to Grandmaster. The GameLeap website is 50% off, and the link is down below. We're pushing out loads of content every single day to keep your skills engaged and your SR always increasing. Go ahead, click the link and access your true potential. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I know I only included 5 of the most popular ultimates in this video, but if you want to know more, if you want me to break down more of the ultimates, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to respond to every single comment. That's all I have for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and until next time.